Rodney Korn, here we are in beautiful Beijing, China,
Yes,
and
we are.
We've actually got a day where we fly out in the next 3 or 4 hours, so it's nice to actually have a bit of a chill out time.
Yeah.
Mate, we've got our Immersion coming up in Noosa, which is pretty busy. It's about 17 people in it, and we've also got one coming up in Christchurch. And I just want to reach out to some of the people in New Zealand to let them know what they can expect, because there's lots of education, there's lots of stuff out there now. What can they expect from attending an immersion? And I think sharing some of the things that we're seeing now commonly from the coaches is pretty important.
Yeah, you bet.
So they can actually make their decisions with more clarity.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I think that really the biggest things that we're seeing now is the connection. It's understanding the connection between how the body works, how the mind is involved, how the tissues are involved, that there's a difference in the tissues, there's a difference in the response of the tissues, there's a difference in the way that you can manipulate the tissues or train the body to affect the tissues differently. And that's something that was never really talked about, and it's kind of in the industry, but everyone really just focuses on one speed of motion, one basic philosophy, for the most part. Whatever that philosophy may be, it changes per person. But I think what we're showing is that when we start looking at the different types of tissue, the different types of responses, the mechanical response, the neurological response, and then how to take tools and motion and apply them to the body to create a change, there's a lot of aha moments. So there's a lot of aha moments, there's a lot of connection and reconnecting to the body and how the body works, and understanding how collaboration of different philosophies, different styles, can now bring about the best change, which ultimately at the end of the day, at the bottom line is, it changes how you're able to move, feel, and live, and it changes your business. It changes how you're able to address and engage other people to get change from them that is quick and effective.
It's interesting because, you know, people see what we're doing with, they see fascial mobilization and they think osteofascial release or using rollers, and that's all we do, which of course, it's only a part of what we do.
Yep.
However, the reason we start there, Roddy, is because people aren't really understanding what tissues they're affecting or how we can actually get the body to move in motion, whether that's using a roller, a ball, or actually using movement. So maybe we can touch on what we think we understand and maybe what's really going on. In other words, we're using foam rollers, but what are we really doing when we're using a foam roller?
Yeah, well, we're using different techniques based upon, and it's all out there. The information and the science is all out there. We know that there's fluid dynamics to the tissue. We know that there's viscoelastic properties to the tissue. We know that there's different neurological responses to the tissue, but we don't apply the techniques to actually address that and make that happen. When we roll, we need to roll in a certain way, and then the receptors respond to different types of motion.
Roddy, it's almost like one style fits all. It's a bit like how we've trained in our industry. Instead of giving the style of the client so that they can be effective, happy, and get the results they want.
Right. So for a lot of people who come, it's the collaboration, the connection, the words that I use, it's because it's like, oh, that's how that works, and that's what that means. It's not that it's a totally foreign concept. It's that all of a sudden it starts to make sense, and then you see and feel the application. Whereas in I know we've gotten feedback from a lot of the students where we went to the workshop and we kind of watched them do it, but we didn't get the hands-on. And I think that's another thing that we're bringing to the industry is, ladies and gentlemen, hands-on application in a live workshop. There is no substitute for it. You can't get the nuances and the manipulations by watching a video and seeing something online, and that's what we're getting from the people. Just yesterday, the feedback was, really enjoyed the hands-on application and the fact that you get down and guide us and walk us through and show us relative to our body, so we then better understand how to make manipulations for our clients. And that's where the change comes in. You can't just do something, get it done, and you're out. But if you know how to move based upon the science, based upon the tissue, and then you know how to make manipulation, we're getting instant change that people are saying, this is magic. It's not magic. It's applying a practical tool to the principles and the science of the human body.
Now, Roddy, just to wind up, because we don't want to drag this out, we just want to give them some clarity. A really big aha moment yesterday for a lot of the students, the trainers, the coaches who were there was when we actually put together that little bit of group training at the end.
Absolutely.
And when we started to move them in various directions with various types of challenges, and then we'd stop them and then take them through OFR and take them through a mobilizer, the biggest thing they saw and felt was the fact that, wow,
Yeah.
we thought we moved all right.
Yeah.
We then applied the SOMA system, and then we moved better. We moved more efficiently.
Instantly.
Yes.
An instant change.
So it's kind of interesting because now you're seeing people, and we were over here in China with probably 30 of their best trainers, coaches, and they're surprised. And that's not the first time. That's happened in Australia, that's happened in
everywhere.
the US.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want to really make a difference to you, to your business, and to your clients, come and spend 3 days with us at SOMA, and I can assure you that you'll go away knowing and feeling a lot more than what you probably have done in many years of training and coaching in the industry.
Absolutely.
Perfect.